how do I stand out in my industry? G'day crew, it's Zoe the Video Confidence Coach welcoming you to another video where we talk about your personal brand and building it. Yes, that is my tagline for now and I'm going to stick with it. So I wanted to welcome you to today's video where we're talking about standing out in your industry. Or whatever I have ended up titling this video, I probably should have that in mind, but say as I do, do as I say, not as I do, that type of tagline. So I wanted to talk to you about the good and bad side of standing out. And now this can be you are so good that you stand above the rest in your particular niche. Now remember, it's not about being the king or queen or the liege of an entire industry. It's about having your particular niche of your particular thing to be able to focus on that. So say for example, people can say that, oh, Zoe's niche is small business owners and that type of thing. Now that is a very wide thing. That's a very wide niche. And hopefully over this year, I'll be able to clearly demonstrate that my niche that I'm currently working in is aimed specifically at people who want to build their personal brands who are in the academic space. So people who need to get in front of groups, who need to make presentations in front of investors, in front of grants investors? Yeah, I've forgotten what they're called. I probably should know that if I'm working in the industry, but nonetheless, that still works. But those type of people who definitely need my help, especially women and non-binary people who need to be able to, if they are passionate of what they do and the field area that they study, and especially if they need to do research that is going to help them and help excel that research forward, they need to be able to sell themselves and the research, which in turn coagulates into personal branding and working on that. So it may seem a bit like, that I'm covering a lot of bases here, but that is specifically my niche. So if I want to stand out in that industry or in that particular niche, I need to focus on the following. Standing out is being seen as above or separate from your competition or competitors, or as I like to call, future collaborators. And it's not me being PC or me being just like, ooh, I don't want to think of them as my competition. Mainly because people who other people can concede that work in your particular niche or particular industry, you may not even see them as competitors, and most of the time they're probably not. Say for example, a lot of people view me as a competitor to someone who is a videographer. A videographer is someone who does both the planning, filming and producing of a piece of media or a series of videos and such. And that's what I used to do. I used to run a business called Zebrafish Digital Media for about 9 years, and that's what my job was. It was a videographer. But now I work mainly on the pre-side, on the strategy side, where I focus on helping people get to that level, and then I use my contacts in videography to get the other producing and editing and filming of the video work steps done. I'm mainly in that pre-section where I actually help you get in front of the camera, be confident, because way too many people out there are just told by either their employer or they're just told by someone that, hey, you just need to get a video done and you'll blast off, you'll do so much better. And it's like, okay, cool. And then they do their best to make that happen, and then they're too afraid to get in front of the camera or speak naturally or just lock up to the point where they can't actually do the job. Which is why I'm here to help people who want to build their personal brands and to build their reputation up, as well as larger groups of people who just need to be able to think of the strategy of, okay, we're doing a video. How does this even work? What do we do? You got me here. Thank you very much. But back to what I'm saying is about standing above your competition. You need to be able to have a signature look and feel to your personal brand. Now, of course, if you're watching the video right now, you can probably see that Zoe has a messy mop of hair on her head, that she has a distinctive makeup look with beauty mark, horribly done eyebrows. I'm in the future, I'm going to look back at this and be like, why did you do your eyebrows like this, Zoe? But it's a new thing. I'm trying filling out my eyebrows for the first time. Give me a break. This is also for people in the comments as well. And I have large, cat-lined winged eyeliner on my eyes. And sometimes I wear glasses and sometimes I don't. And I wear a customary blue dress, like a dark blue dress. And a lot of people say it flatters me and my complexion, mainly because I am white and very pale and easily sunburned all the time. It's probably because of treatment, but nonetheless, burning all the time. But the reason that I do this, not just because this is how I like to dress on my, day to day even when I'm not being filmed or when I go out and see family and friends, not a whole lot right now, but usually when I go out seeing family and friends, I dress kind of the same way as well. Because it is my look. People can identify how I look and my branding from this particular subset of how I dress. And say, for example, if you are looking at yourself thinking, oh, I don't dress in an identifiable sort of way, I'm kind of plain, or I don't really like the way I dress at the moment. Well, one, you can change that. You can always evolve. You can always update how you feel and how your signature look comes from your personal brand. But also the way that you present is a style, and the way that you bring people in with your videos and your content to be able to bring them in on your journey, to be able to explain these big highfalutin concepts into something a lot more calmer and a lot more down to earth. So then people grow to like and trust you, and therefore you build your personal brand. That is not inherently a look on how you style, on how you are in front of the camera. It builds up that rapport just by how you act. And speaking of how you act, make sure that you are consistent in whatever you decide to do. So say, for example, journeying back a bit, is I decided to do 5 pieces of unique content for my channels, 3 podcast episodes and 2 new video episodes a week for 2021. I decided this back in September of last year, and it took me all this time just to get it going. Well, all this time. Probably not from when you're watching it, but from September to end of December, it took me so much just to get out of this internal rut I was in and just being like, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to achieve this? I've set myself a goal. It's too big. It's for my head. How am I going to do this? And I'm just going to trust myself. I have the skills and I have the knowledge and I have plenty of video ideas and podcast ideas to be able to give you and help people succeed. And I want to be able to serve people. And to do that, I need to know my stuff. And for you to be able to build up your personal brand and for you to be able to get people on your side and trust you, you need to show that you can be consistent in, releasing videos every week, to always be contactable and always respond, to have a consistent set of looks and feels to your branding, not just how you physically look, but how your posts look, and what colors you use, and all that good branding stuff that comes along with that. And I can do a video on that if you would like me to. But the reason you want that consistency is so that people can identify you from a crowd. So you're able to stand out. Because no matter what particular niche you end up being in, people need to identify you and what you can do for them like that. And that comes over time of serving your customers and clients or your audience consistently over time. It's not just a surprise, here I am, one and done thing. It's a thing that you have to build over and over and over again, which is kind of hard, but it's something that you need to do to be able to build your personal brand and grow to a level of success. And the final point I want to make is about taking opportunities. So say, for example, when I was younger and YouTube was a new thing, I took the opportunity to learn about it, to upload videos. Even though I didn't have a lot of internet access at the time, I used to upload them through the school Wi-Fi and school internet just because I didn't have very much access to internet at all throughout, my childhood. And I took the opportunity to be able to just create content and put it out there. I didn't expect it to be seen by anyone. I didn't expect it to be liked by anyone. And I did get a few comments and a few things here and there, and a lot of people seeing my stuff. Of course, that was when we were starting out, and it's fairly new. But it's also a case of I just wanted to try things for the sake of trying them. And for you to be able to build up your personal brand in a particular niche, you need to take the opportunities to talk to people, to create content with people, to create assets, to try new things. And if they don't work out, that is fine. You just move on to the next thing that's going to help serve your audience, to help serve your clients and serve your customers, or serve people that you may not even contact, or reach. You need to be able to consistently and evidently serve people over time. And you do that by taking the opportunities that are placed in front of you, or maybe just a little far out of your reach, that you have to etch outside your comfort zone to grab, pull them into your comfort zone, and then your comfort zone gets bigger. My second line of points, and I know this is a very long video today, is about being eye-catching. So being eye-catching in your industry with your particular brand, your particular style is nice, but having a long-spanned attention from your potential customers, potential audience, is more necessary to you and growing your brand than just being viral one day and then coming back down the next. So there's a lot of groups and personal brand people who consistently evolve and change over time, but people can identify them and the way that they look and are still following them because of their core ideas and core values. People are looking for you to solve their problem. They are looking at you to be able to say, I can solve your problem, I can solve your issue, if it's in my niche or in my wheelhouse, I can help you solve it. And that's what potential audience members, potential clients, and potential viewers want to be able to see from you. It doesn't matter if you feel like yourself, you're not the most standout type of person, that you don't command that much respect or expertness is the right word in your industry. And say, for example, that's something of me too. I started my business when I was 14. I started a business of videography and creating videos for people when I didn't have internet access, where to get around I had to catch buses and there was all these things that could have been seen as up against me, and also my age. I was 14, yet I was schooling these 45 to 60-year-old people on video. Oh, you mean like TV or like films? Sort of, but like shorter, newer, and on your phone. Whoa. And people were not amazed by the fact that I was 14. I was actually pushed out of a lot of rooms or opportunities because of my age, because they thought I was too young. But the fact that I've been able to hone a group, to be able to hone a list of rabid and raging fans for the workshops that I've run, for the clients that I've helped out, and for the work that I've done in the past, I'm able to earn their trust long term to be able to keep that, personal brand growing. Because even though people still refer to me as, the zebrafish person, that I don't have any animosity towards that, because that's what I was doing for 9 years. But now I'm focusing on building my personal brand. Zoe Wood, video confidence coach, focusing on building my personal brand. And people are going to see me and follow me because of the goodwill that I've already bestowed out onto the world, onto the online space, onto the people that I've helped. But none of this can be achieved if I don't actively work on my ultimate goal, which is building a following. Now, I don't want you to put specific numbers on this, mainly because you can't predict how high or low, what problems, issues, or controversies you may have in the future. Don't try and put a number on things. Just work on helping and serving people in a long-term fashion to be able to achieve their goals, or your goals if they happen to go in the same parallel direction. That is quite useful. I highly recommend checking out our podcast episode. So on the Do Video podcast, which is my podcast that I run 3 episodes a week, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, check it out. We did an episode on enthusiastic restlessness. Here I go again. Enthusiastic restlessness. And that episode, I felt really encapsulated a lot about why people do what they do, why people just keep pushing to be able to build themselves up and drag everyone else with them as they go along. So that's on the Do Video podcast. Can't remember what that is, so check down in the description below or in the iCards if you're watching on YouTube, and hopefully I'm smart enough to remember that they're there. We'll see. My call to action for you today is to subscribe, to click the little doobly-doo down below, click the button till it turns grey, maybe put on the bell icon. I don't even know if that works. It probably doesn't. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, because it probably not, because I'm going to put this everywhere, you can click the button and we'll make sure that you check out our other videos that are happening twice a week. So I do videos that are happening twice a week is what I'm trying to say. But we'll move on to our next and final point. You might be saying to yourself, yes, Zoe, this is all well and good, la-di-da-di-da, whoop-de-doop-de-doo. But if I don't feel like I'm going to stand out or I'm going to make a dent in my particular niche or industry, because there's other major personal brands of people that have been in the industry for 30, 40 years, or even though it's a fairly new industry, there's all these people that have like way higher, follower counts than I do, and I just feel like I'm never going to make a dent. This is for you. The one thing with growing your audience is that you don't have, a lot of maybe experience or time or, effort devoted into the particular platform that you're trying to grow on or what have you. But I want you to try new things. I want you to switch up and I want you to evolve. Because as Roberta Blake says, your first 100 videos, no matter what, are going to be crap. They're going to be terrible. No matter what you do or how you do it, they're going to be bad. And all of these people who you may see as your rivals or your competitors or people who are, stealing the spotlight from you, give or take, they have been working hard to get to that. They've been working so hard to get to that level. And if you don't feel that, it may just look, because you're on the outside of it, it may look easy. What they've done may look easy to you, but now that you're embarking on the journey yourself, you may see that it's actually not that easy. It actually takes a lot of time and effort. But I want you to stay steadfast. I want you just to keep pushing and keep going. I want you to be consistent in the content that you produce, in the way that you look, in the way you feel, in the way that you present, and be able to be in your heart, say that I am serving the people that I want to serve right now, that I am helping the people that I want to help, and I am building my personal brand so that whatever project, people, or efforts that I put my hand up for to help grow and evolve, then I'm able to do that because my rabid fans, or even people that don't really care that much about me but know who I am, can see and help themselves. That's the ultimate goal there. Another thing that you will need to do, and no matter what, is that you need to be active in your communities. In your particular niches that you're striving to be in, you need to be active. You need to be, and I don't mean just posting videos. I mean like actively commenting, creating discourse of, showing that you are an expert, showing that you know your stuff. Of course, you can be wrong. We can all be wrong. I have definitely been wrong. See 5 things I was wrong about podcast episode, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm doing a lot of plugging today. There is a lot of things that you can definitely be wrong about, but you can always change your opinion. You can always evolve and grow as a person, because that's what it's like being a person, having a personal brand, is evolving almost every day, almost every hour, to be able to combat the challenges that you are going to face, for what your customers are going to face, what your clients are going to face, what your audience is going to face. They need to be able to see that you are the person who has the truth, who has, the expert thoughts and opinions, but to be able to show that you can evolve and grow with the times. There are so many personal brands that people can remember from back in, say, the 60s or 70s or even 80s. And again, this is coming from someone who was born in the 90s. There's all these people who have left a legacy that are even impacts the world today. But they're either no longer around, but their efforts and the work that they do still impacts people today. So think about that and think about your legacy over time. And how is that going to serve the people who you are serving right now, as well as the people who you could possibly serve in the future? So make sure you do that by engaging in discourse, answering questions, and being active in your communities. And while you're being active in your communities, make sure that you leave the door open or the window open to learn from others and to acknowledge when they influence you. To learn from people who you may see as rivals or competitors. See what bits of their work or their content or their strategy that you can pick to use for yourself. And acknowledge that. And then work on from there. Too long, didn't watch. All right, points are as follows. Let me read. All right, try new things, but always be consistent with your word or, your goals and motivations. Ultimate goal should be to build a following. It's your personal brand. If you want to grow it, you need people to follow you. And my final point is to always be active in your communities. People want to learn from you, so you need to be out there hustling and, being there to answer people's questions. Thank you for watching my video today. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the description below. In the comments under the description below. And from there, make sure you check out our podcast episode about enthusiastic I will get it one day. I will promise I will get it one day. Enthusiastic restlessness. One of these days I will get it, and you will watch me, and you will clap, and you will just, wherever you are, if you're sitting on the train or watching this in your bed or what have you, and you're gonna see me do it, just first off without even trying, no cuts, no nothing, and you're just gonna be like, well done, Zoe. Okay, we're gonna pull back a bit. I want to thank you for watching the video, and make sure you check out our other videos in the playlist on YouTube and on our website. All right, I'll leave you guys to it. Have a good day. Bye.